Greetings fellow Decepticons, SoundBlaster1987 here for my monthly vlog of June 2023. This time I'll be covering the top 10 Beast Wars characters that I would like to see either released in the new Beast Wars reissue line, with a few modifications like clear plastic and GPS issues, or remade in the modern Transformers Legacy Evolution line. We already know the Beast Wars Polyclaw and the Fusor Silverbolt are going to be coming out at some point in the next year or two of Legacy, so those will be left off my list altogether. So, without further ado, number 10 is Power Pinch, otherwise known as Scissor Boy from Beast Wars 2nd. Power Pinch is a transparent dark green and opaque orange earwig transformer who was a Predacon in the US and released as a Maximal in Japan called Scissor Boy, who used the spring-loaded mandibles of the earwig mode as his handheld weapon. The IDW The Gathering and The Ascending comics had Power Pinch redone in a sort of chocolate brown colour instead of super dark transparent green, which I vastly prefer as a realistic colour scheme for the earwig mode. And for this figure I would like him to be a deluxe class with maybe manual hinges on the pincer gimmick and such like, so that spring-loaded weapons are not needed, because Transformers haven't used spring-loaded weapons since the Age of Extinction toys, I don't think, due to, the new toy safety things and such like. So, yes, either Power Pinch, Scissor Boy, or the BotCon exclusive Cancelled Universe project Vice Grip, the blue and metallic grey version of Power Pinch, could easily be done in the Legacy line or the Generation Selects line or the Buzzworthy Bumblebee multi-packs of obscure Beast Wars repaints like the toy accurate Scorponok they did from the Kingdom figure. Then moving on is going to be number 9 on my list. The basic class flip changers, more specifically Razor Beast, Iguanus, the Alligator Megatron and so forth that haven't had modern figures. Rattrap has already had a core class figure from the Kingdom line, and we also had a Titan's Return Mindwipe retool for the Bat Optimus Primal, which came with a Headmaster Titan Master unit for the Alligator Megatron so that you could customize your Skull Cruncher into it. But that won't do. A simple Headmaster and the Savage Noble Titan Master drone that came with one of the other figures is not enough of a Beast Wars homage. We need full deluxe class figures of the Alligator Megatron, the Iguanus figure, and Razor Beast, among others. There's also more repaint potential for Pterosaur down the line as well, and we haven't had Pack Rat from a Rattrap mold yet, so there's always possibility for that to come out. But the main sticking point here for me is Razor Beast. Because Razor Beast, well, I grew up with the IDW Comics The Gathering storyline, so Razor Beast has always been the toy that I wanted to see remade with a higher price point and more comic accurate gimmicks like his back-mounted cannons made from the Warthog legs and the transwarp signal booster hypersonic thing that came out of his Warthog mouth in Beast mode. Moving on to number 8, the probably most unlikely of the choices on my list, Magmatron, Magna Boss, and the Tri-Predicus Combiner team. For those who don't know, Magmatron was the 3 dinosaurs in one combined robot that was the main villain of the Beast Wars Neo anime in Japan. He was also the main villain of the IDW The Gathering comics. I think a partial retool or shared engineering of the Kingdom T-Rex Megatron mold, at the very least for the legs, could be doable here. Although it would definitely take a little bit of extensive engineering from other figures, for example, like Power of a Prime's Cutthroat or whatever, to make the giant sort of Quetzalcoatlus Pteranodon type thing that forms his head and shoulders and such like, and the Plesiosaurus or whatever that, long-necked sea dinosaur with flippers is supposed to be called, that forms the left arm and such like. Obviously the sword and the shield would have to be parts-form weapons as usual. Now, I highly doubt that Magmatron will ever come back because, well, he wasn't exactly the best toy in the original line because of the way that all the robot kibble was visible in the dinosaur modes, and that Chimerasaurus alternate combined configuration was very confusing stuff. as for Magnaboss, we've already got a Beast Wars 2nd Skywalk figure retooled from the Ares Kingdom mold, but Santon and Lio Jr., or Prowl and Ironhide as they were called in the American series, have not yet been updated. And I very much doubt we'll see the Tri-Predicus Council in their combined trio form again. I mean, the Beast Wars 10th Anniversary Japanese line, Telemoka, didn't even finish releasing the Beast Wars 2nd version of the Tri-Predicus team. They didn't even include the missile launcher for the Gimlet lobster figure, because the wing extensions, swords that came with the Cicadacon or DJ figure were supposed to be the missiles for that weapon. And without DJ, there was no reason for Gimlet to have his launcher, because the launcher was only combined with the other weapons for Tri-Predicus as combined mode weapon. I very much doubt we'll see a reissue or remake of any of these figures, especially given the amount of clear plastic that C-Clamp had in its original American release. Number 7 on my list is Beast Wars Neo, Guile Dart, Saberback, and all of the other Japan exclusive figures. We did get some repaints of them for the Universe and Beast Machines lines as part of a Dinobot team, but we never had a modern remake with, less kibble and panels, intrusive transformations and such like. I think it would be interesting to see these characters reimagined, since we don't normally get an organic Stegosaurus for a start. We always get Snarl from a G1 Dinobots, but Saberback has a very different transformation to him. And of course, Guile Dart could easily be retooled into Killer Punch again, the purple Styracosaurus who uses his own head like a battering ram missile type thing. Number 6 on my list is Torka, Sky Shadow, and Injector, aka the Blantrons from Beast Wars Neo. Torka was a severe GPS victim in the original toy line due to the amount of extensive metallic gold plastic on his body design. Same with the Beast Wars Neo repaint Randy of the Razor Beast mold. Razor Beast, if he did get made in Legacy, would eventually get a Randy repaint for the Buzzworthy or Rare Selects lines at some point. And hopefully the same would be true of Torka, except due to Torka's excessive size in the Gathering comics, he would most likely have to be either Voyager, Leader, or even Commander class to be in scale with the rest of the cast. Which would, again, make his Japanese repaint, LFA Orca of the Blantrons, even more expensive to produce. Then, of course, if you're going to release one Blantron, you've got to remake the other two as well to complete the set. So, Injector, formerly known as Aqua Sting, the Lionfish and Hornet Fusor, and Sky Shadow, the Dragonfly Lizard Fusor, who was repainted as Dramcron, would have to be remade as well at some point, except minus for spring-loaded missile gimmicks and such like. This I do not see happening anytime soon because they're such obscure characters nowadays, but a guy can dream. Number 5 on my list, we already have Tigerhawk listed for future releases, but his Universe 2003 repaint Razorclaw in the sort of G1 Skywalk deco with black, purple and silver would definitely be a good potential repaint for the Selects or maybe a Shattered Glass lineup. Because some of these alternate Universe 1 colour schemes were used as the basis for Shattered Glass versions of the characters and such over the past few years. And we don't want Razorclaw being mixed up with the G1 combiner from the Power of a Prime's Predaking set now, do we? Number 4 on my list is all of the Transmetal figures that haven't been redone yet. I know Transart Toys is making masterpiece versions of most of these Transmetals, and now they're even doing Transmetal 2s with Dinobot and Cheetor on the horizon. But Hasbro haven't made remakes of the official Transmetal figures for quite some time. Transmetal Tarantulas could easily be done either for Legacy or for Earthspark as well, because the Earthspark version of Tarantulas was based on the Transmetal design. Then of course there's the first Transmetal Megatron design with the chrome purple head and the bronze body with silver tail, which of course is the only Beast Wars Megatron reissue we haven't, well not reissue but remake we haven't seen in Legacy or Kingdom as of yet. Because we have the original T-Rex mould for Kingdom redesigned with cartoon accurate proportions and such like. And now we've got the Transmetal 2 Dragon Megatron in Legacy. But we're still missing the Transmetal 1 Megatron. And I'd also like to see some of the other Transmetals like Rattrap further down the line. Because of course the original Transmetal Rattrap, as you'll know from my review of the figure, couldn't rotate the backpack so the back wheels of the vehicle mode were on his shoulders like they should have been from the cartoon model. Something the Trans Art Masterpiece knockoff figure fixed pretty quickly. Then, number 3 on my list is Manterra. Manterra, in my opinion, is one of the best, if not the best, Beast Wars Deluxe ever released in the original line, and yet he still hasn't been reissued. He's pretty good value for money given the excessive size of his body in both modes with those multi-jointed mantis claws and such like. I know the safety regulations will probably get in the way of those friction fire razor discs that pop out of his mantis claws nowadays, but hey, at least they're not spring-loaded. I've already reviewed the Japanese repaint Mantis, which is literally just the same as Manterra but as a Maximal, replacing all of the transparent purpley grey plastic with blue. I'll leave a link in the description for my Mantis review. Number 2 on my list is, if I can just think for a moment, Transketo, yes. I think that an extensive retool of the Kingdom Waspinator mould could possibly work for Transketo if it was retooled enough to upscale to the Voyager price point, since the original Transketo has a very similar transformation mechanic to Waspinator, except it was a Mega Class figure. So rework the Waspinator figure so that the legs are bigger, the wings are longer, maybe work in that Emblipagid battle platform mode and move the, leg-mounted insect legs to the arms somehow. Change the head and make a 5mm like fire blast port or whatever in the mouth of a robot mode head to simulate the, spit missile gimmick from the original toy. And then you can also re-release that in a Buzzworthy multi-pack as Big Moss, the Japanese Maximal release of that figure. How they ever thought a Mosquito would pass for a heroic transformer, I'll never know. But of course, Big Moss and Transketo are also gold plastic syndrome problems, so hopefully Hasbro will have fixed that by now. And finally, number 1 on my list, as if anybody who's watched this channel long enough will not be able to guess this, Quickstrike. Basic class was definitely too small in my opinion for Quickstrike, given the fact that he was around the same size as everyone else on the show in robot mode. I think a few universal joints to replace the ball sockets and such like on the Cobra head arm would probably be useful, as well as making the scorpion legs from his claw individually jointed for a more dynamic range of motion, plus also replacing the squirt gimmick on the Cobra head with a fire blast port for like flamethrower accessories and such like, to show him using his cyber venom on the Maximals, plus also obviously doing the Dark of the Moon Dark Steel and Last Night Megatron thing and replacing the transparent yellow plastic with a more durable metallic mustard gold plastic, so that we don't have the same clear plastic with, metal pins embedded through it problem we had with Quickstrike and Energon Demolishor. So, that more or less concludes my top 10 Beast Wars figures that I would like to see either reissued or updated for the Legacy line. I have been SoundBlaster1987 Reviews. Thanks again for watching. My next vlog in July will cover the multiple jobs and businesses Wallace and Gromit have run throughout the years in the Aardman animation franchise Wallace and Gromit. My next review will be Transformers Energon Deluxe Class Inferno. Till then, till all are one.